Thanks Ivan and Danielle. Hello and welcome to Western Perspective. I'm Nelson Liu. Tonight, it's a heinous crime committed against kids, child abuse causing irreparable harm to young children and their families. Child abusers have served jail time for assault and murder crimes, but with many escaping long sentences, concerns have been brought to light about WA's legal system's approach to cases and the physical and mental scars of the violence to kids and families. So are offenders adequately punished for their crimes against children, or are they getting off scot-free? And is the legal system bringing victims and their families sufficient justice? We investigated the devastation of child abuse cases and discovered the recurring horrors faced by victims and their families in Australia. We warn that the story may disturb some viewers.
I couldn't cope with the nightmares, the flashbacks, all of that.
Nikki Hyde remembers the day it happened.
I was threatened by them not to ever say anything to anybody or they would kill me.
She was assaulted as a child. Her memories of the ordeal still fresh today.
I'm a victim or survivor of child sexual abuse, or sexual assault actually. I was raped by two monsters when I was 12, 2 days before my 13th birthday.
Many other children have lived through Nikki's nightmare, raped, beaten and sometimes murdered at the hands of their attackers. Offenders have often escaped full jail terms and life sentences for their crimes, leaving surviving children to live with the horrors of their attack, communities with broken families and the loss of a child.
They're never going to be the person that they would have been if they had not been abused.
Kate Edwards is an anti-child abuse advocate, campaigning against physical and mental child abuse in Perth. She's been fighting against child abuse through an online petition, calling for tougher jail sentences for child abuse offenders.
Ministers need to go back and rewrite many laws, most of them to do with sex offending, and especially of the children. I mean, how can 3 months or 6 months how can that be enough?
She says WA's legal system has failed children and families who've been affected.
If they took the time to sit down and read some of the stuff that I've read, they will know that our laws aren't good enough and people are really angry.
Nikki has joined Kate's campaign as a victim's advocate, concerned after her own experience about the impact abuse and murders have had to families in the local community.
There's so many other victims, families that I know, and for example, another one, Philip Vito, he was 14, murdered in 1995 in a park in Perth by Jeremy McLaughlin. Sophia Rodriguez Siratea, she was murdered 8 years old, and that was only 10 years ago. And her offender, Dante Arthurs, could be out in 3 years' time.
Despite the concerns about early releases, WA's state government says they're doing everything they can to battle child abuse and domestic violence against children and encourage victims to come forward.
The state government's done a lot in that area, and I think we are appalled at the abuse and neglect of children.
What we are seeing now is an increase in reporting of domestic violence incidences and calls for help from police, from victims, which is actually a good thing, because we need victims and the community to have the confidence to come forward, report to police, so that police can provide assistance to them.
But the opposition sees the situation differently, calling for a review into sentencing after Attorney General Michael Mission's claims current laws are adequate.
The Liberals have left us in the dark. We have been imploring them for 8 years now to start a database so that we can all look to see what sentences are being imposed. It's no good looking at 1 or 2 sentences and drawing a conclusion.
In Perth, Nikki is continuing the fight for families and children living with the memories of their ordeal. She hopes there are changes soon to bring justice to victims and families of child abuse.
Things should have been fixed many years ago, and we are still dealing in archaic. It's ridiculous, and enough is enough.
If you'd like to sign Kate's petition, you can visit change.org. And that's the program for this week. Until next time, bye for now.